Are you saying HIV is not sexually transmitted?
Number one, HIV is not a retrovirus. It is a latent one. It is not retrovirus. ARVs, a multi-billion rand or dollar a month.
Things you hoped won't happen, they do happen. And they actually happen with greater frequency than the things that you hope would happen. And the reason is simple. Being unprepared puts you out of position. When you are unprepared, you lose. Now, the primary cause of failure today is lack of preparation, not lack of money, not lack of talent. Being poorly prepared, being poorly trained, you fail because you do not have the skill to perform. But one frustrating thing about preparation, it takes much more time than the event that one prepares for. For example, imagine a musician putting lots of hours preparing for a 3 minute performance. Stage actors prepare for lots of weeks preparing for a performance that would only last for 2 hours. Ladies and gentlemen, preparation allows you to tap into your talent because preparation is a process and not an event. Preparation is not about mastery. It's not about having all the answers because preparation puts you in a position to become successful. In fact, success is when opportunity meets preparedness. Welcome to this amazing episode of CEMEX Network. I'm so thrilled today and so excited and honored, to be introducing a renowned medical researcher who is famous for his controversial views and opinions on naturopathy, on alternative medicine. This man has hosted a national TV show in the United States of America for over 2 decades. And his health series has aired over 8,000 times. He's a 2 times Crystal Award winner. He was elected into the who's who of America and Canada. In fact, his work was endorsed by the former president of the US, Bill Clinton, and the former president of South Africa, Thabo Mbeki, to a point where the former First Lady, Zanele Mbeki, wrote him a special letter. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm welcoming to you the doctor's doctor, the man who tells it like it is, Basil Gold. Welcome to the show, Doc.
Well, Sir Max, thank you for that. Yeah, I'm glad somebody recognizes something.
Yeah.
Today we're going to rock the ship. It is high time that we bring awareness to the people of what AIDS, HIV is, and what it is not, folks.
I mean, I've hosted you in so many of my shows, and you're still looking good.
Over the years.
Yes?
Well, I'm only 83, going on 84 this year.
Yeah.
I'm still young, dude.
Let's get to it, Doc. I mean, you are famous for your unconventional and some people say controversial views on alternative medicine. But one of the biggest groundbreaking research that we have done was on HIV, and HIV is a big talking point. I mean, I was listening to the news few days back, about the rollout of ARVs and all other things. But now I want you to paint this picture and give us a perspective of what HIV is and what it is not.
Wonderful. ARVs, a multi-billion rand or dollar a month. ARVs. And that's what HIV is all about. So it's time that we bring the truth to the people. Mm-hmm. The hypothesis that AIDS is caused by a new substance called HIV. This was brought about by Dr. Robert Gallo in America, National Director of the National Cancer Institute. 1986. Dr. Gallo stood up at a packed studio in Washington, D.C. and said that he, with all the senators and governors and everybody there and the media there, he said that he had discovered the cause of AIDS. So let's just start with one thing, AIDS, acquired immune
Immune.
deficiency. You have
Yeah.
acquired an immune deficiency. How difficult is it to acquire an immune efficiency? It's that simple. What do we need? Well, we need to be alkaline. If you are alkaline, you cannot have any disease. Cancer, diabetes, no disease known to man can live in an alkaline host. So it's that simple to be able to cure. Just become alkaline. How do we become alkaline? Well, we cut out all the things that we should not be doing, like coffee in the morning with cow's milk. Oh, we are cows now, drinking cow's milk. That's not for human beings. But more about that can be said later on about
Yeah.
what cow's milk is. Sugar, the number one feeder of cancer. So we start our day off with a cup of hot coffee, milk and sugar. So we are now acidic. And acidosis is the birth of cancer and diseases. So the hypothesis that Dr. Robert Garrow came up with, he said that he had discovered a new virus called HTTLV3. Later on changed to HIV
Yeah.
by the media. We'll get to that point. That he had discovered in his laboratory by himself at the National Cancer Institute. And that was now the cause of AIDS. HTTLV.
Okay.
HIV.
Two things, Doc, that I'm getting. The words acquired immune deficiency. Now, what is it that HIV/AIDS is not? You said, what is it? It's about immunization. What is it that is not? Because the normal introduction to everyone, we know HIV/AIDS, it's transmitted sexually. Can you expand on that?
Oh boy, what a take hypothesis. So, when last had you seen a 2-year-old or a 3, 4, 5, 6-year-old jig? When last have you seen any child having sex? Oh, and I know what you're going to say, folks. You're going to say, no, it's the mother was HIV or the father was HIV. No. In a study, Sir Max, of 13,600 children, Guatemala and Malawi, HIV, 88% of the parents were negative. Yet the children classified as HIV were positive. That means they had to have it sexually, right?
What would you say if I say to you, studies, Doc, are showing that, let's take children who are HIV positive. There are three reasons that could happen. Number one, it could be because HIV/AIDS was not detected in their parents, number one. Number two, it could be because they took it somewhere, they got infected at the hospital, either through equipment or whatever that is happening, or abuse when they are young. Well, what would you say to somebody who argues that like that?
Well, number one, HIV is not a retrovirus. It is a latent one. It is not retrovirus. So you cannot get it from kissing somebody else, touching somebody else, because here is how do we test for HIV? We count the CD count and the viral count, right? If you have a high viral count and a low CD count, you are classified as HIV.
What are you saying? Are you saying HIV is not sexually transmitted?
No, absolutely, categorically not.
Can HIV be transmitted from one person to the other?
No, it cannot. Because I cannot affect your immune system. Your immune system is dependent on what you put in here on a daily basis. If you put in high oxygenated foods, healthy foods, you will have a healthy immune system, which means you'll have a high CD count. No viral count, like me, at my age. No CD count and no viral count, only a CD count. So that is what we base HIV on, is on this your health, your viral and CD count. That's how they base it. When they do the analysis or diagnosis and the prognosis, they look at your viral count and they look at your CD count. If you have a high CD count, you're a healthy man. You're not HIV. Now, your wife is obese, big tummy. She's eating millipap all day and white bread and butter and margarine and flora and all the junk. And so she is not classified. Yet you are not. Yet you are sleeping together regularly. So it is not sexually transmitted disease, but they want you to believe that. And they want you to use condoms. Now that is another whole new story. Why did they bring out AIDS and say it's from sex?
All right. Let me understand, Doc.
Don't let me forget PRP, okay?
Yeah, there's a lot of research that has been given to us that HIV/AIDS is transferred through fluids. It moves through fluids and blood. Now, what many people are struggling to understand, and myself, is when you say HIV is not sexually transmitted. So for so long, I mean from 1983 or back then over 40 years, that's what the world has been told, that it is sexually. Do you have evidence or a thesis that you can back up to say it's not sexually transmitted? Maybe based on the work you've done or the patients that you met.
Dr. Fayandong Batman Gelij from Peru, the old country Peru. He was the greatest researcher on HIV, and he proved beyond any doubt that it was not a retrovirus and that it was caused by malnutrition. Malnutrition. Now, you may remember President Mbeki, as well as Manto Chabalala Mitsimang, the Minister of Health those days, who actually brought me to your country, brought me to South Africa.
Yeah.
I had advised them from Las Vegas in 2004. When they called me, I advised them about malnutrition in South Africa. Millipap. It has no vitamins, minerals, proteins. It's got nothing of value to you, yet it's your most stable food. White bread and butter and all these things, these have no use in the body. So you have a very low nutritional substance in your body. So you are definitely malnourished. You may eat a lot and be big and fat, but you're still malnourished because the body has to have 9 things on a daily basis. Your motor car, folks. Your motor car runs on 9 liquids. Brand new Mercedes out of the box. But it doesn't have anything in it. What does it need? It needs engine oil, gearbox oil, differential oil, brake fluid, battery fluid, steering fluid, gasoline, water, and air. Those are the 9 liquids that will make it go. The human body requires 9 things. Now, I know you will never drive your car if one of them is short. No brake fluid. You won't get very far.
Yeah.
No gasoline. You won't get no water. No, you have to have all 9 in your car. So, Snacks, you need 9 things in your body. Chlorophyll, enzymes, vitamins, minerals, carbohydrates, proteins, essential fatty acids, amino acids, water, purified water, and air. 9 things. How many people do that? Very few people live by those standards on a daily basis. They say, where do you get chlorophyll and enzymes? Well, I say to you, will you remember that saying? An apple a day keeps the doctor away, folks. And so anything green will give you that.
You've got couples, Doc, who have separated and divorced.
Oh, absolutely.
Based on the HIV status. Do you have evidence of patients who came to you and they were tested positive and you were able to address that?
Oh, thousands. Since our broadcast from 2000 and when we brought 2010.
Way back,
From those days, my telephones have never stopped. To this day, I'm seeing and I'm hearing people calling me at least 30 to 50 a month. Doctor, I was just recently diagnosed, and I say, yeah, you don't have to go any further. I know you were diagnosed with HIV, ma'am. Yes, doctor. I know. You're all being diagnosed because you are all malnourished, including many white folks. Many, especially the Afrikaners with their big fat stomachs. They're all malnourished, but do they test? No. Nobody ever, you never see any white people at the clinic. I've worked at a number of the hospitals. You don't see any white folks coming in for testing. Why? Yet we are not dying of HIV. But the black folks who are believers, black folks, they listen and learn and they follow the routine of, what is said. What is said? Who says it? The TV, the radio. They say these things that this is HIV. It was all about HIV and AIDS was all about PRP, signed by Bill Clinton and Mandela eventually in 1997. And I was present at that signing. It was in the Beverly Hills Civic Center.
The public reduction program.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. You hit the nail on the head. To reduce the population because we are running out of food. It's a food shortage in the world. So we have to reduce the population. We need more people to die and less to be born. So we prevent birth by using preventions.
So are you saying HIV/AIDS is a conspiracy?
Even the book, Alternative Medicine, that big thick book, 380 leading edge physicians wrote that, and they said the hypothesis that HIV causes AIDS is such an idiotic prognosis, such an idiotic, that no doctor in his right mind could go about doing this. Yet Dr. Robert Gallo stood up at a packed audience in Washington, D.C. on the podium and said that HIV was the cause of AIDS, when nobody had proven any of this at all, that there was no virus whatsoever. It is malnutrition. And that's in that book. 380 leading edge physicians wrote that book, which I'm sure you've seen I have.
Yes.
Or I did.
You've sent the material to me. One of the biggest questions here in South Africa that never got to be answered was when the former president Thabo Mbeki asked a question: does HIV cause AIDS? And it was not frankly received. In fact, he was so condemned by asking that question. Would you say he was also aligned to believe that there's a conspiracy around the issue of HIV/AIDS?
And who gave him that alignment? Me. I got a phone call in Las Vegas, where I was living, in 2004. It came from a lady by the name of Fazike. She was with the health department, South African Health Department, under Manto Chabalala Mitsimang. And she said, the minister would like to speak to you. So I advised the minister. She advised Zanile and Thabo Mbeki. And I told him that HIV is a conspiracy. Number one, ARVs was a product of the pharmaceutical company years before, when it was called AZT. In accordance to the 380 leading edge physicians, AZT took 70 million lives in 1 month when it was released, AZT. It was immediately taken off the market, brought back apparently in 1980s. In 1980s, 1990s, it was brought back as ARVs.
What do you say to a person who says, I was diagnosed or tested positive, I was immediately put on ARVs and my health improved?
You need to show me one.
Yeah, they will tell you I was sick, I was bedridden, taken to the hospital.
Somebody,
and
No.
I'm better off. I'm on my feet. These things were, what
Who's
would you
told
say to
this?
that person?
I have certainly got more HIV patients than anybody in this country. I have seen more HIV people than anybody. I mean, I'm inundated with thousands a year. Not one person has ever told me.
In the village.
However, Sir Max, I know of many who went onto ARVs and died within 2 days. Right in your city where you used to live, in Rustenburg.
Yeah, I get that, Doc, but don't dismiss this outright. I'm saying to you, 50% of the people who are tested positive, they're on ARVs. And they are living like today. The stigma of HIV/AIDS is no longer like before. In fact, people today are no longer afraid of HIV/AIDS, but they are on ARVs.
I don't know anybody who agrees with that statement amongst my peers. No, I don't know anybody who's got healthier. Everybody. I mean, if you were to ask me to bring statistics and I were to go into my invoice books and get down all the people's names that have come to me with HIV, and you were to call each one of them. Oh, so many have told me they are losing weight. They are getting migraines. They are getting diarrhea. Complaints after complaints. I've never had anybody saying, since I've been taking ARVs, my health has improved. Never have I ever heard that saying. I don't know where you heard it.
What do you say, Doc, to a person who's HIV positive today and say, Doc, I'm diagnosed HIV positive. What should I do in order to be healed?
You come to me and I will tell you, or you read my book. My book will tell you exactly what HIV is and what it is not. And will tell you, you start your day off on a healthy routine, as we spoke earlier on. Start with apple cider vinegar, then take your greens, your apple a day, keep the doctor away, take your green living food every day, which is broccoli, baby spinach, green beans, peas, anything that's green, apples that are green. You take a fair amount of that into your body on a daily basis, and then you get your protein and your carbohydrates, and you take immune boosting foods, something that boosts the immune system. Now we know that all diseases are cured with the immune system. Nothing cancer cannot be cured by any other means whatsoever other than your immune system. If you fall off your motorbike at 100 miles an hour and you got broken bones and your skin is all ripped off everywhere, 6 months later I see you and it's all repaired. Well, that's the immune system. And that, as environmental, your clothing and dust and dirt, yet it heals.
Yeah.
Because the immune system is so powerful. So if you power up your immune system, you can never have HIV. And I will challenge anybody in this country and any doctor, and I will put down 100,000 rand today if you can prove me wrong.
What do you think about this, Doc? 2020, the world was hit by COVID-19, ne? and hardly 10 months, there was a vaccine. I mean, HIV/AIDS has existed for over 40 years and there was never a cure. What are your thoughts on that? Does this support your notion of an HIV/AIDS conspiracy? Why is there not a cure for AIDS and a cure for cancer after so many years, yet COVID, it was just 10 months? Your thoughts?
Okay. Number one, nobody has ever been cured with ARVs. So how can you tell me, or anybody tell me, they're taking ARVs year in and year out? For what? Is it curing you? No, I'm still HIV. So then why the hell are you doing it? Why are
it's
you
maintaining
doing it?
sexually.
And then cancer, chemotherapy. Are you cured? Chemo has never ever cured one single human being in the world. And you're still doing it. You get diarrhea, you lose your hair, you lose weight, you get slimmer and slimmer, and you're dying, losing weight and dying. Yet you still go and do it. Why? Because they say so. Who is they? Radio, television, all the networks, your teachers, everybody's hearing. That's who's saying it. But is science saying that? No, not science. Science is not saying that. Show me one person cured of cancer using chemo. Not one. You all die. You go into a hospital, you walk in, you come out in a box.
Why is there no cure for HIV?
Well, I can bring you many who have got HIV, who had HIV in your hometown of Rustenburg, that have written to me or called me, Doc. I went and tested and I am now negative. Praise the Lord. God sent you to this country, doctor. I've had that hundreds of times. All you have to do is go through all my media, all my social media and platforms and have a look, read, spend days reading all this, and you will see testimonials from across this country, from Kuruman to Limpopo, from Polokwane to Cape Town, across this country, Mabato, especially Mabato, where you're now mostly domiciled.
What are your thoughts on condoms?
Condoms, well, that is to reduce the population and reduce the risk of impregnating. In other words, you can fornicate, because that's what you're doing. If you're just having sex for pleasure, that's fornication. God does not like that. Fornication, sex was meant for procreation, not fornication.
Okay, we'll talk about that the other day. But with relation to HIV/AIDS, what are your thoughts on condoms?
Well, I have no thoughts on it other than it is meant to prevent spermatozoa entering into the womb, into the ovum, to impregnate a woman. So that's what it's there for. To also maybe if she had chlamydia, thrush, these are sexually transmitted. These can easily be transmitted sexually. So a condom will
But
help
with
you.
AIDS, there's no effect that it plays on transmittance of HIV because you don't believe it's transmitted sexually.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not. So using a condom is not going to prevent it. And as I say, it has got nothing to do with sexuality. I mean, that was proven by the doctors, the 380 leading edge physicians. They said it is only a hypothesis that it is sexually transmitted.
Doc, if HIV/AIDS, and as I believe with many other diseases, it's centered around nutrition, how significant is the food that we are eating? How important? How can we change our nutrition for us to create that buffer where we are healthy? What is it that we should not eat and what human beings should eat?
Oh, that's the important, most imperative part of this conversation today.
Yeah.
How can we prevent being sick, having HIV or cancer or diabetes, obesity? How can we prevent it? By providing your body with what it needs. Those 9 things that I spoke to you about.
Yeah.
The 9 things. Provide your body with that. God has made an incredible immune system in the body that can heal broken bones and then all these things that I talk about that can cure these things. But you have to have the tools. And the tools are a powerful immune system. What will we eat? Well, let's first say, what should we stop eating?
Yeah. Yes.
I'll give you some of them. I've mentioned a few. Coffee, cow's milk, sugar, flour. Number 2 promoter of cancer. Flour, especially white bread, butter, margarine, flora. Microwave oven, irradiating your food. Microwave ovens, throw that in the garbage, folks. Don't give it to your neighbor unless you hate him and you want to get rid of him.
And now, how do you warm up your food?
Oven. An oven. We always had ovens until some wise-ass man created a microwave that, 2 minutes, bang. Wow, what an amazing thing. It can take something that is frozen, hard frozen, and thaw it out and cook it in 2 minutes. That's radiation.
What are the foods you saying in your book, an amazing book that I read?
I haven't finished telling you what you should not be doing.
Okay, yeah.
So we're
Please
still
go
on that.
Yeah.
Those are some of the things you have to stop doing. Stop eating these breads and all that. Then Coca-Cola's drinking drinks, all fuzzy drinks. I know Coca-Cola is the number one in the country. People drink a lot of that. That again. Purified water. Drinking only pure, clean, reverse osmosis water. Not like it's good water, it's clean water, reverse osmosis. Is it good? No. We've removed the contaminants, we've removed the toxins, we've also removed all the minerals and all the life force. So we need to put that back from the ocean. Ocean minerals are identical to human minerals and trace minerals. They're in ionic form, in the same form as our minerals. So getting it from coral calcium. And I would not buy a coral calcium unless it's just pure coral calcium. So if ever you're buying coral calcium, folks, turn the bottle around and look at ingredients. It's an amazing substance. Amazing. Just a pinch of that in your water, but look at the ingredients. If it says calcium carbonate on that ingredient list, don't buy it. Calcium carbonate is a known carcinogen causing cancer. So don't buy anything with calcium carbonate. Other things that you should avoid: electromagnetic fields in your house. Sleeping on an electric blanket, for instance. Having earphones in your ears. Don't walk around with these earphones in your ears. You are affecting the brain. You're losing blood cells, brain cells, of which there are millions, but you're losing them when you have electronics going in you. Wearing synthetic things. Tampons, women's tampons, they are white. That's bleach. Don't put these things in. Use pads, lady. Don't use tampons. Use pads. Oh, there's just so many things, but they're all listed in my book. Cigarettes and petrochemicals that are omnipresent in our society. Xenoestrogens. It's a petrochemical, and they affect the woman's hormones 1,600 times more powerful than the estrogens in their bodies that their ovaries make. These xenoestrogens are in your food chains. Canola oil, Canada Oil Company, tractor oil, used for the train lines in America, and that's now food substances. So all these things, there's so many things you avoid. These things that you're using on your arm with aluminum in them. Lipsticks, eyeliners that's got formaldehyde in it, nail polish, formaldehyde.
It looks like everything is bad. What should people use?
Read my book. It'll tell you what to do and what not to do.
In this book, you are saying the number one cause of death is going to the doctor. What do you mean by that?
Oh, and it's on the cover of the book, on the back cover. And that has been endorsed by the Natural Resources Defense Council of America, and the CDC, the Center for Disease Control, states that the number one cause of death in the world is going to see a medical doctor. So many, I would go up to 80% of diagnosis that people are receiving are incorrect. You go to a doctor and he diagnoses you with this. Go to another doctor. Let's say it was HIV, for instance, and he says you are HIV positive. Now, go to a different doctor and tell him, listen, I've just arrived from Zimbabwe or from wherever, out of the country. I had a test to get here. I've lost my passport. It was stolen at the airport, and I've lost my certificate that I'm HIV negative. So I know I'm negative because I got the certificate just last week. So could you please run your tests and give me a certificate? And he will not take the chance in saying you are positive.
So doctors
the doctor
are not...
in Rustenburg, for the mining there, Witbank, all the mining area, Dr. Peter, I forget his surname, probably best not to mention it anyhow. He's writing, he says, 100 prescriptions a day He is the doctor for all the minds. He says he writes up to 100 prescriptions a day, making money from the prescriptions, HIV. And he agrees with me. He agrees with me. He says, but hey, that's the protocol. That's what they want us to do, declare them HIV.
There are people who goes to the doctor and now even to the pharmacies. There's this chip.
Testers.
The testers, yeah, HIV testers. Would you say those things are also preset to come out positive? What are your views on?
Oh, you're reading my mind so much. You're just too damn smart, man. You know everything.
Thank you, Doc.
You are so right. Now this, I don't know if it's a fact or if it's a hypothesis, but I got this from America recently from some of my peers, that out of 1,000 testers made, 100, up to 150 to 100 are made to say you are negative. The rest are all made to say you are positive, no matter who you are. So, now you go to the pharmacy and you have to hit that lucky one that says you are negative. Go and buy 100 testers and do 100 tests. And you're most likely going to see one that says negative.
Doc, people's sexuality, human sexuality has been controlled. And one of the ways to control human sexuality has been through the fear of HIV and AIDS.
Precisely.
What do you say to people? Because some people will watch this podcast and say, now you are encouraging reckless behavior when you say to people, HIV AIDS is not sexually transmitted. So if you have a partner who's HIV positive, you can just have sex with that partner and you won't be infected.
It can't be transmitted. Your immune system can't be transmitted unless you are of the belief. No, not unless. If you are of the belief that it is a virus, a retrovirus, easily transmitted by spit or blood or sexuality, if you are of that belief, well then, I can't help you. That's your belief. That's your belief, and nothing I'm going to tell you is going to change that. Well, I'm telling you that come to me and I'll give you a guarantee. I'll put you on nutrition, provided you can I can avail these things to you. You get everything I tell you to get, and I'll provide them for you. You get them through me. I can get them everything that you need on a daily basis, and do it religiously every day. And I guarantee you, after 6 weeks maximum, go and test, but I'm going with you to do that test.
For the test.
I'm going with you to the clinic, and I'm going to speak to the doctor before he even attempts to give you the wrong answer.
No, you freedom of speech. Yeah.
Before he's going to give you this bullshit that you are positive, you're negative, etc. I'm going to warn him. Listen, I'm a doctor. I have my own microscope, so I can do my own testing. But we've come to you for a certification. This man I know is negative.
Yeah.
So, do your test. If he says you're still positive, we take that blood and I will take it to a different laboratory, to an independent laboratory, and get them to test it. And then, if I'm wrong, I'll give you 100,000 rand.
Are you saying doctors have lost credibility, Doc?
Well, as I told you, number one cause of death is going to see a medical doctor. Hold on, right there.
Yeah.
Going to the doctor. What does the Bible say? Job 13 verse 4. Ye physicians, ye are all forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value. It is better ye speak not at all. God said it, not me.
Is it something that is done intentional by the medical field, or it's purely out of ignorance, of not knowing, or it's a system that produces, in your view, the doctors that are in there not to heal people?
It's all about prescriptions. $999 billion a year in America on prescription drugs. $999 billion a year. And that statistic was when I left America to come here. So by now they said it's going to exceed $1 trillion. Prescription drugs runs the world. They do more than the gross earnings of the American government, the pharmaceutical companies. It's all about prescriptions or operations. It's not about curing. It's not about curing. Doctors have abrogated from their duties as God predicted in Job 13 verse 4. Job 13 verse 4, folks.
Dr. Sebi, and I'm sure you know him.
I loved him.
Yeah. He said one of the key causes of diseases is mucus. What are your thoughts on that?
Mucosis. Well, I disagree with him. It's not the key, not one of the key. No, it's not, it's certainly not. And I did respect him. I mean, I warned him a day before he actually got killed. I warned him that he would fly out of the country with your attitude and my attitude. We are targets, because many other doctors that I know, personally, Dr. Basil Wainwright, who also practices what I practice from Miami, he also flew out to the same country that Sebi was flying to, Mombasa or Monte Carlo or something with I don't know where he's flying to. And when he got off the aeroplane, the snipers took him out. With Dr. Sebi, he got off the aeroplane healthy. He's a healthy man, just like me.
Yeah.
Practices what he preaches. The next morning he's dead. They said he got double pneumonia overnight. No, the double pneumonia doesn't take overnight. It takes a long time to kill you. And that's what killed him. So again, it's all a conspiracy. It's all done by the drug cartels.
Yeah. Doc, there are many cases where you go to the doctor and the doctor says you have high blood pressure. You've got this because it is hereditary. You got it from your parents, it moves along the family. What are your views on those chronic diseases that are said to be hereditary?
Handed down in the genes.
Yes.
Well, I'm sure you've seen that on my TV shows.
Yeah.
You've seen many of my TV shows. And how many of those doctors have said what I'm about to say? No diseases known to man are handed down in the genes.
Yeah.
The habits and the lifestyles are handed down. Your grandfather, in the early morning, in 1901, your grandfather's probably born somewhere around there. 1901, up till 1936, he had millipap in the morning for breakfast with cow's milk and sugar. And you came down from your bedroom. What did he give you? Millipap, cow's milk, and sugar. Now you grew up to be a man, your father.
Yeah.
Your father's eating that for breakfast. What does he give Sir Max when Sir Max comes down for breakfast in the morning? He gives you the same thing. You are eating everything in the household that you are accustomed to. It's handed down over the years.
The habits,
the patterns, and lifestyle is handed down.
So it's not handed down through the genes.
It's not diseases that are handed down. They did a study on this. 50-year study that the World Health Organization did, and this can be checked easy, of course, through the WHO. They did a study. I might be wrong on the amount of years. It was 40 or 50 years. They did the study on twins. Twins that were separated as childs due to the parents being killed in a motor car accident or whatever the cause was. And this twin went to an Italian family. Pasta, pizza. He got nice and fat. His brother, one of whom I know, Mr. Las Vegas, where I live, his name just slips me at the moment. He was a health fanatic. He liked vegetables and fruits and married a nutritionist as well.
Mm-hmm.
He was 60 years old when I last saw him. His brother died at 42 years old from obesity, blood pressure. Blood pressure is obesity. You will not find a man like me, slim and trim man, with blood pressure. That's so unlikely to have blood pressure with a slim body. It's obesity. When you're obese, you're going to have gout in your legs. You're going to be diabetic. You're going to have blood pressure, cholesterol, which is the big heart attack, cholesterol.
When you talk to a lot of people, they would say eating healthy is expensive. Your thoughts?
Correct. Unfortunately, they're correct.
But then it means it is reserved for a particular class of people if it's expensive.
Unless you have a house with
garden.
all you need is a space the size of the studio.
Yeah.
That's all you need. You can grow carrots over there, beetroot over there. Very important, beets, the red. As I told Manto Chabalala, beetroot and garlic.
Yeah.
I told her many things, but all she could remember from the drugs she was taking was beetroot and garlic. And you can have tomatoes and green beans and peas. You can, and millies over here. You can grow your own food. You can have 3 patches and planted at different intervals. You will have continuous food throughout the year.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't cost anybody to have a garden. I mean, it's just a matter of using a spade and a fork. Seeds are easy to get. Very easy to get. So the mealies, you just take off the little things and wait for them to dry it, and those are seeds. Everything's got seeds, so you just plant the seeds. Potato, you just take that little growth that you see on potatoes when they get old, just cut that out and put it in the ground. Bingo, you got potatoes growing.
There are many young people today and a lot of people who are struggling with sexual dysfunction, sexual deficiencies, they're taking a lot of things.
Many men.
You see
Even
a lot of
your age, young men like you.
And men now, they're under pressure because there are a lot of supplements, a lot of things to do. What advice do you give to this generation?
It was my number 1 phone call when I came to this country because of my book. In my book, I've written about libido lift. So everybody was calling me, Doc, I want that libido lift. And I said, well, I recommend La Bomba.
Mm-hmm.
La Bomba.
What's that?
And I actually imported. La Bomba was an accumulation of sexual herbs like ginseng, like when I put on the spot, my memory goes when I'm put on the spot. Horny goatweed, Mucuna, Terrestris tribulus. Terrestris tribulus being one of the best. Then you got Mucuna and Muripalma and horny goatweed and ginseng, which is down in the list. But those now are herbs that will fortify you and give you a better strength and an erection.
Yeah.
A lot of men, and the ages, I'd always say to them, how old are you, Baba? I'm 42, sir. I had my last child when I was 66, as I was telling you.
Yeah. I was shocked. When you were 66.
66. My son now, I'm 84 this year. My son is 18. So I was
So you were still firing.
66 years old, and I still would like to have a daughter. All I need is a volunteer.
Doc, we spoke, and there are many people, but we mentioned Dr. Sebi and how he died. I know you said when you left America, you had a bullet with your name in it, but also people like you would be banned. What are your thoughts on where are you?
22
what
years,
headspace are you in now?
22 years on national television. And it is reported that I have 22 bullets with my name on, because every one of my broadcasts, over the 22 years, I earned so many bullets when I said, folks, stay away from the doctor. He's the number one cause of death. And I never said this, folks. It's said by the Center for Disease Control. The number one cause of death is going to see a medical doctor. Woo-hoo! Doctors wanted me dead. Stay away from prescription drugs. Woo! The pharmaceutical companies want me dead. Bullets with my name on. But God told me, keep doing what you're doing, because I became a reborn Christian. And he said, go to your Bible. Open it up. I opened it up. It fell open into Psalms. Just open. Read. And I read there. And I saw on the beginning of this chapter, Psalms 34 verse 19. Many will be your afflictions, but I shall deliver you out of them all. And I know there were many death threats given to me, and many millions of dollars offered to me to tell people to stop with the prescription
Is that
drugs.
so?
Many, and I'd
Offered to you to keep quiet.
and I was well paid. I was the highest paid reporter on television. I was getting $1,000 a minute on TV, and I was doing 27 minutes a day on each broadcast. So I was making a lot of money. I didn't need any money.
Organizations like WHO, they publish lots of research data.
So it's crooked now.
So you're saying you can't rely on that. That's not credible data.
No more. It used to be credible, but it became now. Dr. Colin Wilson, he's the senior advisor and a personal friend of mine, and he's been on my TV show 2 or 3 times. You'll see him on episode 25 towards the end. And he says, folks, listen to what Basil is teaching. He says, if you want to be healthy, do the things that Basil talks about on his various TV shows. So he endorsed me, and he now agrees with me that WHO has gone this way. So I would not trust the WHO anymore, the World Health Organization anymore. It's all become pharmaceutical, and they are the pressure ones. They are the ones with the billions and billions and billions of dollars. And they run America. They run the media. They have directors in every New York Times, Chicago Tribune, San Francisco Journal. They have directors in all the media, Fox Television, ABC, NBC. The directors are from the pharmaceutical companies.
Africa, Doc, it's known for its knowledge of the herbs, but it has lost that because penetrated by the pharmaceuticals came into. Are you worried about that?
Oh, I'm so glad you brought that. Folks, go to YouTube, type in Basil Gold, and then my TV shows will come up. Go to episode 22. There I'm sitting with 10 books on the table, and you just need to read the titles of each one. And you will see how the pharmaceutical companies are now trying to destroy all people selling vitamins and minerals, trying to close down all the health stores. They are physically trying to close down and suppress alternative medicine. Is the only way you can ever be cured is alternative medicine. And alternative medicine is living a healthy lifestyle. You don't have to take any particular medicines. There are things that will improve your life, like MSM in your blood, coral calcium that will fortify your bones and provide nutrition to the body, rice solubles, these sort of things that will nutritionalize your body. And that's how you're going to cure yourself of all diseases. When you already have this, you see, Susi Akul,
I don't have. At least I don't have, Doc.
No, you're healthy. Did you hear what I said?
Yes, Umatondo will.
On the pants.
Well, yeah. All right. Doc, it's always a great pleasure, man. And this is the first of the many series that we're going to do because there's a lot I want to talk to you about. I want us to talk about urine therapy. you know, how your own urine can heal you. You talked about that in the past.
Tuberculosis and
Yeah.
HIV. We'll talk about that.
Cancer as well. So there are many shows that are coming. But for those who are watching the show, this is an amazing, amazing book. The Natural Cures, How to Restore Your Health. Eye-opening facts they don't want you to know. Basil Gold, the doctor's doctor. An amazing, amazing book.
Even
I
Tapo and Becky read the book.
Yeah.
Zanil and Becky read it and they wrote
Yeah, I saw their endorsement here.
Yes.
But it's always a great pleasure, Doc, to see you still looking good, 84. Your skin is so radiant and you are as young as a horse.
And I want this, what we are doing here today.
Yeah.
Folks, please, you see it. Send it to every friend you possibly can. Make this go viral. Let's educate the people of South Africa. People are dying unnecessarily.
The doctor's doctor, the man who tells it like it is,
With,
Dr. Basil
never
Gold.
forget who it's with. Sir Max, the man who is not afraid to give out this kind of information. All other media sources are afraid to speak the truth. Sir Max is not, nor am I. God bless.
Doc, thank you very much for coming to the show. This is the groundbreaking episode of CEMEX Network, and there are so many of this kind that are coming into the show. So a big thank you. Let's continue to subscribe to the channel so that more and more life-changing, thought-provoking content is coming this way. My name is CEMEX. Kamako.